Hello, everyone. Welcome to Cardano Live. Glad to have you here. Today, we have Shahaf Bar-Geffen on. He is the CEO of Coty. He appeared on the Africa special yesterday talking about AdaPay and Save the Children and Coty. And thank you for coming on to Cardano Live, Shahaf. I'm glad to have you here. Why don't you start us off by telling us what you've done since your last podcast? What's been going on with Coty and AdaPay?
Oh, well, first of all, thank you, Rick. It's a great pleasure to be here again. Wow, a lot have happened since we last met. To begin with, Coty's business has grown. Right now, we are a run rate of $250 million in transactions, working with merchants all around the world. That means that our staking program also grew and more nodes are available at the network. I think since our last conversation, we've actually launched Coty's native wallet, the Viper wallet, and a few white label wallets. The more famous ones are Blockchain Dollars and Ultra. We've also launched Coty X, the liquidity layer for Coty. We signed a contract that will allow us to issue debit cards on our network. And I've just read that ADA a few days ago became a token that you can buy with a credit card directly using Simplex. And Coty is also such token. You can buy Coty with a credit card or even with an Apple Pay. And lastly, I guess we've launched our DeFi product, the Crypto Volatility Index, essentially a VIX for crypto. And of course, AdaPay. This is why we're all here today.
Shahaf, you just surprised me with you could buy ADA with the debit card with Simplex. Now, I watched your video a few weeks ago with the CEO of Simplex where you're talking about debit cards and connecting Coty via Simplex with the credit card system. And now, did I hear you correctly? You can buy ADA with a debit card via that system. Is that correct?
That's true, yeah. And also, I guess with Apple Pay or any other system that Simplex supports, that's great news. Not a lot of tokens can be bought with a credit card or a debit card. That's actually something that you need to approve with banks and the credit networks. And it's a great privilege to have that.
You just knocked my socks off. You totally derailed me. I was thinking, we're just going to have this guy. Oh, yeah, we're going to talk about the Africa special. And you drop a huge bomb like that. That's awesome. That's awesome, man. It's good to hear. That's news to me, folks. I did not know that. I had no idea. So other good stuff coming up on today's podcast with Shahaf. Thanks for that. I appreciate it. So yesterday, that's incredible news. Incredible news. And congratulations and all the hard work that your folks do on connecting things via Coty, including AdaPay and Simplex and Visa and debit cards and all these other cool things. And now you can buy ADA with a debit card via the Simplex methodology. Amazing stuff. You never cease to amaze me with the work you do at Coty.
Thank you.
Yesterday, we had the Africa special and you appeared on there. That was at about the hour and 40-minute mark. So if anyone was following up on the Africa special, somewhere around the hour and 40-minute mark, if I remember correctly, where Shahaf appeared there, talked about AdaPay and talked about how the Save the Children works, for example. So first of all, how does AdaPay work? Can you tell us a little bit about the blood and guts of how this thing works?
Sure. Well, first of all, it's a payment gateway. What it means is that you can connect with a wallet, like the Uroi wallet, and send ADA to a merchant, a charitable organization, a government facility, whatever, whoever is willing to accept ADA as a form of payment or donation. Now, the idea is that, we are running actually on the Shelly mainnet. We were one of the first companies to develop on the chain, and ADA actually is sent directly to the merchant through a user interface that allows the user through what we call a payment request to actually either decide how much he wants to pay or donate, or the merchant can actually send a push transaction that actually appears on the user screen asking him to pay 100 ADA, right? So this is like the sort of system that people got accustomed to around the world with PayPal or other systems. So essentially, we're taking the same idea and translating it to crypto. A user then confirms the transaction, and then ADA is sent directly from his wallet to the merchant wallet. In the backend, of course, we generate unique addresses for each transactions. We create the wallet for the merchant. There is a back office system for the merchant that allows him to understand who paid him for what, and to be able to track it for his reasons, or just to pay taxes, of course.
Okay. And I tested that this morning, so I noticed the interface was very easy to use. Oops, I put my phone in airplane mode, so I'll take it out of airplane mode. I'm going to check it and show you an example. So I used the AdaPay. The links are down below in the description. So what you'll find down below in the description is the links to the Coty roadmap that Shahaf did a video earlier this year. Also, one of his most recent videos with an update on the progress. You'll also find a link to AdaPay down below in the description. Make sure you hit that more button, expand it, and it will show you how the AdaPay technology works. In the example there, you can use the Save the Children link example down there. Oh, and shout out to Raymond at Growpool, also working with Save the Children for a very long time. Very good stuff. And I used it. It took 10 seconds. It was literally 10 seconds. The transaction went out. There's an example. I don't know if you can see on my cell phone. Yeah, it was blurry. And I sent 50 ADA. The only cost was the 0.16 ADA transaction fee required by the Cardano network. And 10 seconds later, boom. And I had a receipt come in my email. But the two are, it didn't like violate my privacy or something, right? My email went on the web page with my name and email went on the web page. And then the transaction went to the address and went to the quote unquote merchant, who is actually Save the Children charitable organization. All right. So that was really cool. It was fast, and it's a method for merchants to receive it. Now we did it with a charity, but there's no fees to the charity. How did that work? When you send it to a charity, I didn't have to pay a fee for that. I just paid the network sending ADA fee.
Yeah, exactly. Like with merchants operating a business, of course, we can collect fees. The beautiful part of this all is that as we are running on such a fast network that is so cost effective, whatever fee we decide to take is just its income. Like there is no fees for banks, credit networks, none of that. This is the beauty of crypto here. And if the network is cost effective, like Shelly or like the trust chain for Coty, then essentially it's almost free to use, and we can take very, very low fees from merchants and still have a very successful business, and everybody wins. And for Save the Children, I guess this is the first time that it took 10 seconds for someone wanting to donate to Save the Children to them actually receiving the money in full, right? Very little fees and 10 seconds. That has never happened in the past. I don't know how you donate, but like if you send through a bank wire or a credit card, that will cost money. That will cost fees, no matter who the charitable organization is, and that will take time to receive. And the fact that it's so direct and it's so intimate, right? Payments are intimate by definition, and you're sending some of your money to someone, and I guess the fact that there is no intermediary in between makes it more unique.
Yeah, well, I like the fact that it was able to separate the payment and my identity, but I got an email that had the receipt with the payment and the identity on it, for tax purposes or whatever else the reason is. But, if you're a merchant and a consumer, you can also track the fact that you sent a payment for a product and you have a receipt for that product. So, business continues to move on to the blockchain and crypto. So that's really cool advancement there. So yeah, the AdaPay was the big news yesterday. Can merchants in Africa, do you work with merchants in Africa, entrepreneurs in Africa? Can they use AdaPay or Coty as a form of a business technology for finance in Africa?
Absolutely, and it's not limited just to Africa. Anywhere in the world, AdaPay can be used as a payment gateway. We worked really hard to be able to launch AdaPay when the Africa Live news was on, and we did manage to launch it. We finished testing like 2 hours before the show went on, but it works. So we launched it, and as of yesterday, merchants can sign up, and merchants are signing up to the system to start accepting ADA. And I guess as ADA grows, and ADA is growing, this will become more and more popular. And it's not just that. We are now what Charles Hoskinson calls Cardano commercially critical infrastructure. So, wherever Cardano goes, we follow, and we're able to support any business that grows out of it. We've been approached by projects moving from Ethereum or other networks to Shelly mainnet and asking us, hey, can you support us with payments? And the answer is yes. And charitable organizations and merchants and these major projects that everybody talks about. So it's a great time to be alive and have AdaPay live.
Okay, Shahaf, you are full of surprises today. There's 2 more surprises wrapped in there. That's why I love doing this Cardano Live. Oh my gosh, I love doing this. And thanks for coming on. What I need folks to do, make sure you hit that like button down below. Smash like, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification for the bell, share the video so that your friends and family and even people you don't like can watch the video and learn a little something here, because there's 2 more surprises wrapped in there, and I want to touch on those. And one of them was, so how long ago was this that AdaPay capability, you timed that with the launch yesterday?
Yes.
So 12 to 24 hours it's been online?
Yeah, I guess right now it's about 24 hours. That's true.
Nice. Okay. Yeah. So follow, check out Coty's Twitter, link down below. Check out and Shahaf's Twitter, link down below. Make sure you get that latest breaking news. And you can also hear it here on Cardano Live as well. And then there was another piece you had in there that it'll get everybody's curiosity. There's people who are there's projects currently running on Ethereum who are looking at using Coty, which is huge. Coty's huge and Ethereum is huge, but they're also considering using Cardano as well.
Yes, there are projects that are actively moving from Ethereum that became too expensive or too slow in many ways, that are moving to Shelly mainnet, and specifically projects that do native assets like stablecoins and so on. And by definition, they need a payment system, and we are the payment system out there that can support them right away. So we have this ongoing conversations now.
Wow, man, this is amazing stuff. So let's so we touched on the Africa special. Let's kind of look a little more at Coty, because there's a lot of people in Cardano now who are either new to Cardano or new to Coty. Like they're maybe popular with Bitcoin and Ethereum, but they're starting to work with Cardano and Coty. So how does Coty work in general? How is it so fast? How fast is the Coty network, and how does it work? Can you give us a brief synopsis on a brief summary, please?
Sure. Well, Coty, first of all, it's a layer 1 protocol, right? Like Cardano is. The big difference is that we are based on a DAG, on a direct acyclic graph, which is a totally different system to organize your database. New transactions confirm previous transactions. It's not about blocks. There is no proof of work or proof of stake. We're actually using a system called proof of trust, which is based on trust score that the network assigns to all participants. So this is like the base layer. But we, as a way of growth, decided that we will build a full ecosystem around our layer 1 protocol. So we've also built the payment gateway that comes with the network, as everybody knows, the licenses, everything that is needed to support a payment ecosystem. And we offer that as a white label to merchants and, of course, to Cardano. And the fact that we're based on a DAG that allows us to be very cost effective and very fast, which is absolutely necessary, critical for payments, because we can do microtransactions, we can do all types of transactions and be very cost effective with it.
How fast is fast?
We can. So with the DAG, actually, the interesting part about it is that when the network grows, where more people use it, it actually becomes faster because you have more people confirming transactions. That's reverse to how we usually think about blocks. So we can clock about 100,000 transactions per second, 100K TPS. That's true. When we launched, we out of the gate we could have done 10K TPS, and now as the network grows, it's just super fast. How fast is it? The fact it's just instant. You send a transaction and it immediately confirms. That's the beauty of a DAG.
Yeah, that's amazing. 100,000 transactions per second. And a few people have asked, and you've mentioned this before, it can in some way connect to Visa, but before we get into that, can merchants in the United States use it? I had a question from Crypto Addictive and also from Kyle Solomon. Thank you, Crypto Addictive, and thank you, Kyle Solomon, as well. Can it be used in the United States?
Yes, the short answer is yes, of course. Absolutely. There is no there's no limitation in the US to use blockchain technology. That's important to understand. Most limitations will be about trading or about listing securities and everything that comes with that. It's not about using blockchain technology. So, of course, a merchant can use AdaPay in the US as long as he pays his taxes, and we, of course, allow in the back office for a merchant, to download a sheet with everything, with all of his transactions, and he can just report his income, pay taxes, as easy as that. It's like money, only better.
Yeah, and like money, only better. And does it also? You mentioned earlier, can it connect to the Visa network, the debit card? What's going on over there with Visa?
So we are quite fortunate to be able to launch debit cards pretty soon, like before the end of this quarter. It's more than debit cards; it's actually debit cards and bank accounts. So you're gonna have you'll be able to open a bank account with a proper IBAN and everything. It will be in a European bank, but you don't need to go through all the hassle. You just open it online in a few minutes. And in this bank account, you can send, like, you have an IBAN, so you can send money to that bank account and out of this bank account. But you can also buy crypto and sell crypto to this bank account, which is the great innovation. So it's a crypto-friendly bank account. And as an extension of this account, you can have a debit card. And with this debit card, you can pay globally, wherever Visa is accepted, which is probably everywhere. So that's, of course, like that. I think this is like the last mile for adoption, if you think about it.
It is, amazing. I'm learning so much here today. Thank you, Shahaf. And so if I want to get this debit card, do I do that via the Coty website that I have linked down below, or do I go over to Simplex to get that? How do I get that, for example?
You can do actually both. The easiest way right now is just to download a Coty wallet, the Coty Viper wallet. You can do it. There is, of course, Cardano Pay, like that. You can just do that online, or you can download our app from the Play Store in Android. And before this quarter ends, you will be able to do that through the App Store with your iPhone. So anywhere you go, you can just apply for a card there, and before this quarter ends, you will get the Cardano Pay cards.
Wow. Before the quarter ends, so Well, we're in Q2, so by the end of Q2, you can have these COTI Pay cards. And
Yep.
you had a couple. You guys did a vote, or you had a couple to select from. Which one's your favorite?
Yeah. We've showcased 5 cards, and I was really hoping that everybody will pick the card that I actually wanted. But democracy needs to be seen and heard, and everybody did, and that was great. So we're gonna have like this black card. I think next week we're gonna show like the final card, but the cards will be black with a logo and with the Coty logo on it. And down the line, we will have VIP cards. And the cool part about it is that Visa will let us just do anything. You want a titanium card, go ahead. Carbon fiber card, go ahead. So we're still thinking on how to play this, but it's pretty cool.
Wow, that is cool. I think Visa is part of the end game because they actually have a point of sale device at each of the merchant locations where, you can swipe or insert a card and read it. Then what that card is transacting, it could be US dollars, euro, yen, any form of currency. And now you're plugging it into cryptocurrency. So again, it continues to connect the crypto world and the crypto networks to the legacy world, thus making progress towards mass adoption, which is what everybody wants to hear.
Yeah, I guess it like in, who knows, maybe 20 years, 30 years, maybe 10 years, the kids will say, did you know that once upon a time, people used these plastic cards to pay US dollars? And that would look like, wow, people really did that? But, before everything will be mobile and blockchain enabled.
Yep. Yeah. When I did my payment via AdaPay, I enabled my Yoroi wallet for facial recognition, so I didn't even have to type in my password. And I just click, scanned a barcode, looked at the phone, and bam, the payment went.
And the awesome part about it is like, yeah, I mean, people will say, I can do that with Revolut or PayPal. Like, what's new? And like, what they don't understand is that you're only sending the command right away. The money is not going anywhere to any merchant right away, like it will with Ada or Coty or any type of cryptocurrency. Like the transaction is settled within 10 seconds, and people don't get that when they think that they're using, I don't know, their bank app, and I can do that pretty fast. Money is not going anywhere, sir. Money is only going to the merchant in a few days, weeks, and not all of it.
Yeah. This might sound kind of silly, but, is it possible that eventually, maybe someday, speculating here, could stable coins or native assets like space coins, I got my space coin shirt on, that we would be able to send those via the same vehicle using COTI Pay, AdaPay, Visa? Is it possible?
Absolutely.
Or are we headed that way?
I'm sure we're heading that way, and Visa, I think, will settle transactions in USDC pretty soon. So Visa won't. Visa has a magnificent network and a magnificent infrastructure out there, right? They're not waving this down and say, okay, blockchain is here, we failed, let's go. Merchants work with Visa. This network can be used. It would just be upgraded, like the sort of assets that can move on these devices that are most internet compatible will just be different. We're just going to send different things. So I'm absolutely certain that this will happen. I think stablecoins will have the key role in payments. I think people will always prefer to pay with a stable or fiat pegged asset, and merchants will want to accept that. Maybe loyalty or other things in the background can be more volatile, but payments as a basis will be stable.
All right. That sounds good. And so, Shahaf, there was a question from Bed Wardlaw in the chat. He says, I own Ada. Can I use AdaPay or COTI Pay today? And the answer is yes.
Absolutely.
It's that easy.
And maybe start, I guess, use the AdaPay for the first time to make a charity. It doesn't really matter how much you'll send, but I think it will bless your wallet forever if the first transaction that you will do on AdaPay will be for such an important charity like Save the Children.
Wow. And so, we're coming up at the bottom of the hour here, and this is a fun Friday afternoon kind of podcast. So, we don't have to drill all the details, but Shahaf and his engineering team, they've built the universal payment system. If you want to see more information on that, check out the Coty YouTube channel that I have linked down below. They go over the universal payment system. Shahaf does like a whiteboard video on there where he describes how it works up on and really very easily explained, how the DAG goes through the payment gateway, eventually becomes a universal payment system. But there was one other thing that you had brought up right before we started the podcast, and that is the latest thing that people are really interested in, and that is DeFi. How is DeFi going to work with Coty? Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Sure. So, DeFi, we were looking at it, about a year back and thinking, okay, what's our angle here? Because you can't really innovate in finance like Coty is set to do without really thinking on how this can be done in a decentralized manner. And we were trying to see what we can do. We didn't want to build, another lending system or another exchange. And we came up with the crypto volatility index. Some of you are familiar with the VIX, and the VIX is a super important tool and index in traditional finance, and we just built the whole thing for crypto. So we analyze the implied volatility in Bitcoin and Ethereum for the next 30 days. We do that through a Chainlink Oracle, and you can have the data, and we present it today in our website, CVI, like crypto volatility index.finance. So you can see the index there, and we haven't stopped there. We've also built a trading system. So if you want to hedge your portfolio or you just speculate about where the market is going, you can do that through the system and benefit from it. The big thing for us is version 2 that is coming, V2. It's going to have a layer 2. It's going to have leverage trading, and lastly, we're going to introduce an amazing concept called volatility tokens. So in any of your favorite exchanges, you can just buy a token, and that means that you are now hedged or speculating for market volatility. And this is going to be a big segment in crypto, I believe, volatility trading, as it is in traditional finance. Yeah.
That's really neat. So they could buy the token. Now, I got to let the viewers know, I don't understand DeFi extremely well. I'm still studying up. So, and I never give financial advice on this podcast. So make sure you watch the YouTube videos explaining how the DeFi systems work and how volatility works and how shorting and longing works, or talk to an expert, talk to a friend who's good at it. Because if you're a novice and you start playing around with that stuff, you could get wrecked. Not financial advice, but it is. But you also stand to have a very lucrative business opportunity as well. So it's good to do your research and do your homework on that kind of stuff. So make sure you check out the videos from the folks who are experts in that field. So that's really cool news, like 4 big items that you brought up here today. I appreciate that, Shahaf.
Thank you.
All right. So we'll be wrapping up for this afternoon. If there's any burning hot questions, let me know in the chat and we'll get to those, but only the burning hot ones. So Shahaf, it's been great having you here this afternoon, and you can feel free to come back over to Cardano Live any time that you would like. Let me check to see, is there any burning questions there? There's a bit of lag. Let me check. Doesn't look like there's anything left. It's really hot. So before we wrap up, is there anything that you'd like to pass along to the viewers about Coty, AdaPay, anything you talked about today? Any final words here before we wrap up?
I just want to say that, AdaPay is a brand new product out there. We appreciate, of course, any feedback and any ideas that people have and how they want to see this grow. The Coty community is big. I mean, it's about 100,000 people, but it's obviously not as big as the Cardano's community. And we've been welcomed in such a beautiful way to this community. So we want to learn, and we want to collect feedbacks and ideas from your community and see how people want to see AdaPay grows. And of course, we we are now accepting merchants.
That's fantastic. So pass that information along to your friends, and you got Coty and Cardano communities and technologies, building the bridges. Great stuff. Can't ask for any better than that on a Friday afternoon. Thank you, Shahaf. Thank you, everyone else. Thank you for being here. Be sure to like and subscribe down below. Share the video with your friends. Set your notifications. Take care, everyone, and have a great weekend. Bye-bye.
Thank you.